You too, huh?
Okay, there we go.
Oh, I forgot. You laughed to test that.
Sorry. Because it's the loudest thing I do. So it's like if that doesn't clip, then I'm golden.
That can't be the loudest thing you do.
On the podcast, it's the loudest thing I do.
Okay, fair enough. I was trying to work a fart joke in there, but that's
commode.
Oh, that too. Okay. I didn't say it was graceful or classy. I was just trying to dumb it down a little bit here. You got it about here. We're gonna need you down here.
That's actually true. Considering the topic of this upcoming episode, we are all going to need to be a little lower. Because it's going to be one of those types of episodes.
We love those types of episodes.
We do.
We're not talking fart jokes anymore, boys, are we?
We're unfortunately past the fart jokes. We're on to the stuff that sucks more than the fart jokes. Why did we chose this? We could have chosen not to do this.
No, we couldn't. We were chosen for this.
Yeah, absolutely we were.
What, did we lose the district lottery?
Oh wait, this is an audio medium. They can't see this.
They cannot.
Oh, can we do the That
was pretty good.
I've practiced that more times than I care to admit. Let's talk about the podcast here on the Fairly KickAss podcast.
Yeah. We have to.
I'm not done laughing. I'm not done laughing at that. Hang on.
I'd rather continue making reference to Mockingjays and Horcruxes. Let's do that.
I'm not done laughing.
Hey, look, I'm taking some credit because that's two jokes that I can make about things I have never read nor seen, and I still feel like those are pretty competent jokes for being an idiot.
Hey, I mean, you had a Game of Thrones track in one of the recent top fives too, so don't tell yourself.
Did I really? Okay.
Yeah, you sure did. It was. I don't think it's going to end up in this top five, although a lot of Game of Thrones is very sad. It doesn't sound happy at all.
No.
And that's what we're talking about today. Songs that on their face, they sound happy, joyous, jaunty even. When you look a little bit further, when you peel back the layers, not as happy. Not as happy.
Yeah, not so much.
How did y'all approach this list? Did you have any specific approach? Did you just kind of think of songs and, kind of mention them when they came up? Or because usually we have, some brief discussion about our approaches before we get into at least the top fives, we being Zach and Dan and Jay, your Fairly KickAss crew. For me, there really wasn't an approach. It just was kind of a shotgun for me. So I'm curious if y'all had anything more scientific than that.
No, that's it.
No, it's kind of like the list just kind of formed in my head and I rearranged it from there. And if we were to do this 6 months from now, I can't promise there wouldn't be 5 completely different songs on this list.
Well, this is your favorite genre of music.
Right? There is that too. Yes.
Songs that are bouncy, happy, but really are secretly not so happy.
Right. Paints me in a wonderful light, really, if you think about it. That wasn't meant to kill everything. Say something, you assholes.
It's more fun to let you sweat.
Right.
Hang you out to dry. Well, I will not hang you out to dry any further. I can hop in with my number 5.
Please tell me it's not the Cold War Kids.
They were not on my list. There is a war band in my honorable mentions. It's not the Cold War Kids. So my number 5 song is pretty old school. And by that, I mean very old school. Like we're talking 79 AD, somewhere in that vicinity, a while ago. It's perhaps the most upbeat bop ever written about a deadly volcano. And we have British outfit Bastille to thank. This is Pompeii. Obviously, you know the history. If you don't, big-ass volcano rained down on Pompeii, and I believe in Second City, too, that never gets any love. Lots of sadness, lots of death, lots of destruction. It was a volcano that rained down on a city. You can imagine what happened afterwards. You wouldn't imagine that if you've listened to this song. And it did get moderate radio airplay, so I think a lot of you have probably heard it, maybe not by name, but definitely by the chanty bits, the like that part. Yeah, everyone knows that part. Very, very catchy, very boppy, if you will. But yeah, it's kind of a somber look at an impending doom, I guess, at the hands of a very voracious volcano. Yeah, I feel like I want to say something more profound about it, but it's kind of really on the nose. Like, there it is. It's big. It's hot. There's ash. It sucks. Let's sing a song about it. That's kind of the crux of Pompeii.
Truth. I want to say more about it, but I don't really have anything to add to that.
You know, admittedly though, like I like the song, and I never actually put two and two together that it's very a literal. Like my brain, for whatever reason, thought we were in metaphor territory, not a literal retelling of a ancient Roman disaster.
I feel like it is one of those that you can draw metaphors from, but it's kind of hard to when the song is literally called Pompeii. You know what I mean?
I mean, I understand, and I'm just saying, like, my brain wasn't ready to do that. Like, this is literal thing,
right? Yeah, like the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Like, you don't think of that and think like that's literal walls crumbling down. You think that there's some kind of wordplay at play, right?
It's a metaphor for a volcano destroying everything.
Wow. I also just was wondering if you had seen my list. Not that this song is on my list, although but there's a theme that we're going to be running through.
Exciting.
Which you unexpectedly kicked off.
Oh, well, I'd like to hear this. What's your number 5?
Well done.
Keep it rolling.
Well, okay. Well, my number 5 doesn't have anything to do with that theme, though, so I'm going to kill it right away. You gotta wait a second or two here. But instead, I'm going to start with the newest song on my list, which should help give you an idea of how far back I dug to lay this one out. And you know it likely because of the one line that took on like a whole new meaning when the world was just completely shut down. We were all a lonely bitch. Because at number 5, it's Ben A and Gus Dapperton with Super Lonely. The song that broke the Kiwi singer-songwriter because, well, TikTok. And like everyone being able to relate to that line at the end of the chorus. An alt-pop banger that's actually about dealing with the emotions of a breakup, which, you know, fits still well anyway. Perfect fodder for a list like this. Then I used the track as a way to mock her sadness, which, you know, could be understood. Sometimes you just have those situations where you have to find a way to laugh or else you'll cry. But very few of us put this tight of a groove behind that feeling. I think I said it when I reviewed this song way back in an episode that probably will never leave the vault. But the guest verse from Dapperton changes things up just enough to make this a contribution instead of a subtraction from the song.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear more about where the rest of your list is going. This is a stellar start.
Well, I as soon as I said that, I realized like I should have been an idiot, just flipped stuff. I'm like, nah, I'll wait. You wait.
I like it.
Speaking of flipping stuff, my top 5 is more of these are 5 songs that I thought of and then I threw them at the wall.
Right.
So it's not really a top 5, and I'm going to rearrange them in order to make sense in this playlist, just to make things interesting.
I like it.
As in, I want the music to be more varied as we move through this, right? Like, so the song I'm choosing will help the playlist be a mix. So my number 5 is, I'll go with this one. A very real shopping district in the Brixton section of London is the scene of a 1981 riot between racist police officers and protesters, witnessed by a poor man ruminating about the things in his life that he will never have. The story takes place on a street named for its historic significance in London, the first street in the area to be lit by electric streetlights. Electric Avenue is a dancey jam that never leaves your head, but is also about street violence, racism, and wealth inequality.
Sorry, Jay, I'm not trying to leave you out there hanging. That's not the song. I don't know what song I expected to hear. Electric Avenue was not the song I expected to hear. 100%.
He gives it away. Eddie Grant, by the way, gives it away in the very first line of the song with "Down in the streets there is violence." Like, it's right there.
Right.
Starts the song that way.
But again, just like so many other things, we just passed that initial bit with before examination. Always say we were going to rock down to Electric Avenue. Like, oh yeah. And then Google Electric Avenue and go, oh.
Oof.
Yep.
Never mind. Brixton is burning, and not for the first time, not for the last time, hopefully.
Nope.
It's interesting what our brains gloss over when presented with a specific motif, like this
Right?
song. Like it's the hook would never lead you to think that this was a song about what it's about,
Nope.
and yet,
Yeah, here we are.
oh my gosh, perfect choice, dude.
Thank you.
I'm gonna see if we can keep this train running with my number 4. That was totally accidental, and you'll understand why in just a minute. So I wrote that this is arguably the most popular song on my list, and I don't think that arguably fits at all. It peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went 7 times platinum in the States, along with 2 times platinum in the UK. It is far and away the most popular song on my list. On my first several listens, the song is roughly 20 years old now, maybe a little over 20 years old now. It seemed like a fairly upbeat tune. The lead singer describes someone, maybe a friend or a lover. This is me, before I knew what it was actually about, that just got back from a journey of some sort. It could have been maybe a physical, mental, emotional journey, a metaphorical journey. That part was kind of ambiguous to me at the time, but it always just felt very positive, which is why I was a bit of a surprise when I realized what Drops of Jupiter Tell Me by Train was actually about. The song was actually written in memory of the lead singer Pat Monahan's mother, Patricia, who had passed away of cancer at the age of 68 in December of 98 as the band was touring for their first self-titled debut album. Monahan had struggles putting this song together, and in typical label fashion, he needed something as the big single. He was getting a lot of pressure. The label was really down his throat, like, hey, we need something, we need the hit, and it just wasn't happening. He knew what the song should be about, he knew what he wanted it to be about, he just could not bring it together until about a year after his mom passed. The first bit of it, what ended up becoming the first bit of the song, came to him in a dream. He said of that dream, quote, "It was just her way of saying what it was like. She was swimming through the planets and came to me with drops of Jupiter in her hair. The rest, as you all already know, is history."
Unfortunately, the only thing I got out of what you just said is that Pat was named after his mother.
It would appear so. It would appear so.
Okay, that's where you stopped. I mean, we've kind of long had this contention that was the Train's last good song, maybe only good song, and at least now we know that he's capable of writing a song that has some sort of emotional hook to it, that has some sort of deep tie, and can actually write metaphorically, which is why I think the hefty bag line pisses me off even more now.
And I was just gonna say, though, honestly, I think I didn't know any of this about that song. Truthfully, I hadn't paid that close attention. I've performed this song a number of times. I've performed it,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that that's what it was about. And actually, I like it better now.
Yeah.
I did too. When I found that out, it was almost a nice little reminder that, like, I'm sure, I don't know how your lists are forming. I certainly have loss, not as a theme, but certainly it comes up in my list and other parts too. But it's a nice reminder that, we can talk about loss and it doesn't have to be sullen. It doesn't have to be melancholy. It can sometimes be upbeat and cheery. And that's what the song was.
Yeah, or it can at least sound that way.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of motifs and themes, Dan, I think we're on to the part 2 of yours, otherwise known as your number 4.
I'll get to it, I swear. It is here. Even worse, I have to make my entry a little difficult because the original band's version is actually not available on Spotify. And the version is like a cover version on there, so I am very sorry. But so let's throw it backwards to 1980 and take a brief history lesson with the Piranhas and Tom Hark being played here by somebody adapting it as a football anthem. That's literally the title of the album, I know. All right, we'll start the song. It's actually a cover of a South African Kwela song from 1956 by Elias and his Zigzag Jive Flutes, which is like an S-tier band name, first and foremost.
Agreed.
Yeah.
When the Piranhas got their hands on it in 80, they did punk ska magic with it. And we got this upbeat track driven by a penny whistle about a world nuclear holocaust. I mean,
Woo.
the first line after a very after a very lengthy instrumental, are, does anybody know how long till World War III? I want to know. I want to book me holiday. It sounds better with the right accent.
Don't try it, please.
I thought about it, but I figured it was probably for the best. Either way, it just gets existential from there, accepting, hey, world's going up. Can't do anything but accept it, which it was a depressingly common attitude at the time when the U.S. and Soviet Union seemed to be constantly towing that line between diplomacy and all out mutually assured destruction via nuclear war. But the penny whistle makes it sound so happy. And if you actually look for this video and you will see it, if you search for this on YouTube, you will find the appearance of them on Top of the Pops in 1980, led by their drummer named Dick Slexia.
No.
Amazing.
It's no sticks it in you, but it's who is playing his kit with two giant plastic fish.
What else are you going to use, right?
I feel like I just had a stroke.
The rest of the band is actually, miming like you're supposed to do on Top of the Pops. And Dick said, fuck that.
That is
gloves
that is
and
tremendous.
fish, shirtless gloves and plastic fish.
It's a fever dream more than a song, I feel like.
Kind of, a little bit.
Yeah.
And then literally about the world melting is the actual.
It's fine that it's about the world melting because that story just made my brain melt. So
Was it Dick
Damn.
Slexia? Was that what that was?
that's
Mhm,
it was dyslexia followed by shirtless fish drumming. That I just
Yes.
I got nothing.
And no, that's not a viral video somewhere in the mountains of Russia. That happened on British TV, prime time even.
Wonderful.
Oh, the world is a interesting place.
Your move.
I don't know what to do with that. All right, fine. So I guess this is where you go with it. When that happens, you follow it up with, when Rico sexually assaults Lola, Tony steps in to defend her and is shot dead for his efforts. The song takes place 30 years later as Lola continues to return to the scene, even though it's no longer operational, at least in the same way, dressed as she would have been 30 years prior. This indicates that not only has she, quote, lost her youth, but also, quote, lost her mind. That's the Copacabana by Barry Manilow.
Just listen. We'll sit here. We'll wait. I wish this is the point where we could actually like turn ourselves up during the song and just like, hey, good day and welcome to the instrumental break, eh? You can imagine right now Lola and Tony dancing on stage.
Yeah, please do.
Turn your Fairly Kick-Ass guidebook to page 3.
This song was recorded in 3B. 3 beers and you forget what it's about, eh?
Did I walk into a bit?
I don't know what we're waiting like they're actually letting us listen to the rest of the song.
I thought there was a reference somewhere that I missed.
I mean, there is, but it's not a good one.
Yeah, you missed a whole ton of references there. So,
That is usually the case.
he's not even. Are you sure he's the right sound engineer for us? He's not even wearing a toque.
I'm just happy I know what the hell a toque is. I feel like that's a fairly high bar for me, at least.
All right, let's get into Zach's next song. That way we can escape from this weird bit.
Oh my gosh, we're even. Oh, we're on this song. Cool. So for my number 3 song, it's incredibly difficult to figure out what it's about at first, at your first listen, or even your first several listens. One, because the lyrics are somewhat ambiguous, which I'll get into in a minute. And 2, because James Mercer sounds like he's spooning pancake batter down his gullet the entire time. Now, don't get me wrong, he still sounds amazing because he's James Mercer and he's an amazing artist, but it's just a bit less comprehensible than most of the Shins tracks that you're used to. This is not the Shins, so maybe that's a part of it. Other Broken Bell songs don't have the same quality to them, but the High Road absolutely does. Oh, by the way, this is a really fucking dark song. So as I mentioned, it's a bit ambiguous and up for interpretation, but you could go a number of different paths with it. It's jangly, it's fun, it's got all the qualities that you would expect in a song that wouldn't drive a stake through your heart. And yet, James decides to go a different direction with it. From my own gathering, from my research, again, ambiguous, so please draw your own conclusions from it. But you can pick up, flavors of societal dissociation in the lyrics. You can pick up a large motif of coping with loss, substance abuse, mental health issues, and a trigger warning for anyone. So I'll pause just for a minute. But there are even talks of suicide, or at least potential motifs of suicide in the song. All of this appears to be presented rather, I have bluntly written in my notes. I don't really like that description of it now that I'm reading it back. Matter of factly is, I think, a better way to put that. It doesn't necessarily beat you upside the head with any of those topics, but it's just very real. It's a presentation more than a plea or more than a hopeful tune. And it suffices to say that there's not necessarily like a resolution at the end of the song. There's not necessarily a happy ending. It's just these things could happen, and the protagonists or the folks in the song are experiencing these things, and that's it. So yeah, it ends on a down note. The whole song is a down note, but it sounds really, really fun. So, and it's a song that, I think you mentioned this about Drops of Jupiter, Jay. It's a song that I like more now that I know what it's about, even though it is a huge bummer. It does add a lot more depth and dimension to the song.
It does. And I'm with you. Like, I think I didn't know what the song was, but I think it was because of Pancake Mouth. It's hard to really pay attention to the lyrics of that tune.
For sure.
It's a good song though. I like it. And again, I think I like it more now.
Oh yeah, it's a jam. Absolutely. I would love to talk to James, and God help me, I cannot remember the other person in Broken Bells. I was sitting here stalling, thinking that I'd have Brian Burton. Jeez Louise. I don't know which of them or if both of them wrote the song. I would love to speak to them about the song. Brian Burton, better known as Danger Mouse, for those who are more deft at Wikipedia than I am. I don't know why the words Danger Mouse just didn't appear in my head until just now. But I would just love to hear the thoughts, if it was intentionally ambiguous or if it was written with a specific purpose in mind.
It's a good question. Curious
minds want to know, James. Hit us up. You know how to find us. And if you don't, you'll know in the plugs at the end of the show. Dan, if I don't have a segue for you, man.
No, there's no, yeah. Can't really do that.
No.
But I got a motif to keep up, god damn it. So all three of us are ostensibly children of the 80s. And the more that I went through my brain for songs that fit this subject that deserved to be on top of this list, I kept coming back to tracks whose main subject matter was the complete destruction of the human race. So to keep with a bit of a theme, my number 3 song was first noticed in a sign of the complete destruction of the human race, the 1983 Nicolas Cage teen idol vehicle, Valley Girl. This is modern English, and I melt with you.
Is that what that song's about?
No.
Okay.
It was featured on the soundtrack to that movie. Valley Girl is why I Melt With You ends up in a shit ton of movies since then. Because it was the theme tune to actually, if I remember correctly, it was the theme tune to the falling in love montage between Nick Cage's character and Valley Girl during that cup of coffee, where again Nick Cage was being pushed as a legitimate teen idol.
Glad that's over.
Well, I mean, technically it was thankfully over before I was born, but
wow.
When you like the title of the song, I Melt With You, there's no metaphor being worked with here. When the song's protagonist says he'll melt with you, it is very literal as the song is set right before the nuclear apocalypse as two people decide to spend their last moments on Earth together banging as the bombs fall. But it's still an upbeat, happy sounding track. And people like have made it like their song. The band's vocalist Robbie Gray has described this as a love song, and it absolutely is, just under the worst possible circumstances. Like I said, a lot of people have focused on that love aspect. And Gray himself has said, you know what? I mean, I don't, as intimated at least, that he didn't want to like kill it for everybody by hammering home what he was really writing about. And here's where the ironic part is: the close of what I wrote was literally, but the meaning of the song was finding emotions in the worst possible moment, literally melting with each other, Pompeii style.
There you go.
Oh my God. It's like you just had me read like a book.
Or the other way around. You knew that's where I was going, and you were just going to prime the pump, so to speak.
You know, I don't know if it shows up in the soundtrack of this movie, and it very well might, because like you said, it's been in a ton of movies and media, but it very much sounds similar to Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. In the terms of, you know, hey, everything is about to come to a close here, but we still got this, you know, this whole romance thing to handle.
You know, there would be an opportunity missed there if they didn't, right?
I think there would.
I don't think the song's on there, but maybe. I don't remember.
I don't. Yeah, it's not here.
I don't see it.
But you know what? Set Adrift on Memory Bliss is, so that makes up for it. It's fine.
We all come out winners.
Yeah.
Again, this whole list is just chock full of songs that you wouldn't expect, which is the whole point of this list. It's fun to hear ones that I knew, although most of yours, you know, both of your lists are ones that I did not know the lyrics or the underlying story to. So this has been every bit of a podcast for me as it has been for all of our listeners.
Indeed.
Jay, are you going to keep that stream alive?
I don't know. I'm debating right now because I have an option here. As we pointed out, I'm sort of editorializing and curating my top 5 as we go. And I have a song on here that I am relatively certain is going to fall on Dan's list. And as such, I'm debating on whether or not to use it now and do a preemptive strike on Dan's list, or I can skip it and hope that he can cover it for me. And I think I'm going to go that direction. So my next song, sorry, what were you going to say, Dan? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's an interesting strategy. Let's see if it works out for you, Cod.
Well, amidst a heartwarming wash of janglingly happy guitars, jaunty drum beats, and irrepressibly charming vocals in a southern swagger, is a song about everyone dying in a confluence of natural disasters that we don't stand a chance of avoiding. At least that's what it sounds like to John Fogerty and fellows in Creedence Clearwater Revival in the song Bad Moon Rising. Listen, I guarantee you're tapping your foot to this song, you're singing along. It's not hiding the fact that it's a dark song. This is one of the more obvious tunes on my list. It's all right there. The songs are, I see a bad moon rising. Basically, we're all going to die. That's the whole thing.
I mean, to be fair, Fogerty wasn't really heavy on the metaphors to begin with. No. So he never really was hiding much of anything in his lyrics.
That's so true.
It's right on the surface. But he did provide a whole bunch of music for this song that is way happier than the content of the song would prescribe.
Oh yeah, it's like upbeat, bluesy, like Saturday night party kind of feel.
Yeah,
literally a hurricane party song.
Right. That would be a fun playlist, the hurricane party playlist. Like if you're in charge of that, like how much pressure, how much stress do you have
on it?
As all the gears collectively start turning.
Yeah, no, I've already got some ideas. I've at least got 5.
I just picked 3 more that would work.
Right.
Nice. Well, hopefully, considering where I'm at, and especially considering where y'all at, that shouldn't be a problem for any of the 3 of us.
At least not today, and probably not tomorrow.
Probably not. If it is, we have bigger fish to fry than this here.
I don't know. I mean, at no point would I be surprised by Cyclone Betty come tearing over Lake Erie.
Stranger things could happen. No, I don't know that stranger things could happen than a cyclone over Lake Erie. That might be at the top of the stranger things list. But we
What's at the
are
top of
getting
your
closer
list?
to the top of. Damn it, you beat me. We had
And here I was going to say, write your own upside down joke here.
that would have been good too. Oh man. So the aptly named Patient is the protagonist in the theme album, the entire album, where my number 2 song resides, with each track on the album chronicling the journey of said patient's impending death from cancer and the following journey past death through the afterlife. Pretty heavy stuff. The crown jewel from that album is nothing short of optimistic and hopeful, more of a battle cry and a call for action than a preemptive mourning of said patient and their unfortunate and ever approaching demise. And for my money, I and all of us could all be so lucky to be played off of this mortal coil by something as powerful and perfect as My Chemical Romance's opus, Welcome to the Black Parade. The chorus is about the most cheerful, hopeful thing on my entire list. The most prevalent term is carry on. And it's like, yeah, this is a really nice, kind of call to action. This is, we have to persevere. We have to keep fighting. And then it's like, oh, the patient is dying. Yeah, it definitely paints the song in a different light. The entire album is a gut punch. It's all very, very sad, but also very upbeat and uplifting. This isn't meant to be, let's all shed tears. That song is coming next. But in terms of this song, it was well crafted, well written, well performed, and as a child of, I guess we'll call it third wave emo of the early to mid 2000s, I feel that this song, more than many others in that genre and that time frame, still holds up today.
I honestly skipped over the genre when like scrolling through my think brain for things that sound happy but are sad. I just skipped emo because most of it just sounds sad, and I didn't even think to delve deeper into that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. When we do the sad songs that sound sad list, it's probably going to be just 15 emo songs.
Nick Drake, Elliott Smith. That's about it.
But this was definitely a departure from your typical song of that genre and time period, I would think, too, thematically. Well, thematically, obviously, but also just sonically.
Yeah.
So we have come. No, we have not come. We are still going with number 2. We should probably omit that so we don't get kicked off of Spotify.
Just breathing heavy.
Dan, say things, do words.
you. I just started. Never mind. I'll just let me do it too, and we'll go from there. And unfortunately, it's too quick. Because I changed out my 2 about 3 or 4 times in the process of the afternoon. I don't, though. Let's go backwards a little bit, though. I don't think anyone would come to be surprised by the fact that there were some devastatingly sad songs among the canon that we think of as 90s alt or even grunge rock. So a song that opens with the line, "Today is the greatest day of them all," could give us hope as we slide into a hard-rocking bridge and chorus. But that hope is not to be, and Today from the Smashing Pumpkins is very much at home on this list. And it's upbeat and it's catchy and it's a vehicle to express the suicidal feelings that Billy Corgan was having at the moment he wrote the song. That jangly intro and, of course, the drop D guitars with that single-ish note of a riff running throughout. It all covers up lyrics about the end. Like, it might not be that, I might not have that long, but I'll tear my heart out before I get out and headbang.
I actually had that on my list at one point, and I took it off simply because the little like pre-chorus thing is a bit on, like, it's edgy, right? It goes down into that minor tonality, and it's a bit edgier in there. So I took it off just for that reason, because I had other tunes but it was on my list for a minute.
And that's what they said, like that spot was open and back and forth, and I finally just settled on something. I'm like, we're about to hit record. I have to decide. What are you putting in this hole? There's plenty of others, though. Damn it.
Because I've been sitting here as y'all have been talking, I'm playing through the lyrics in my head and thinking, oh, okay. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, that turns it on its ear quite a bit.
When you actually listen to it, I mean, you kind of distill it down. It's just as depressing, if not more, as a Tyrus World title match. Cross promotion.
Go check out the Finisher Podcast at thefinisherpodcast.com. I hope.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the one lyric that I keep coming back to is Pink Ribbon Scars, which I guess it's one of those things you don't sit and think about as you're, either listening or even singing along. I mean, how many times have I sang that lyric in the car without stopping even for an iota of a second to give it a second thought?
But that's an example, and there's another one that just hit me when you mentioned it, of like lyrics that stand out along those lines were in places you did not expect them to be, and where I found them, which again is an unintentional cross promotion. But think of the Goo Goo Dolls and Name.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then you get to the beginning of the second verse, and scars are souvenirs you never lose.
Yeah, that's a heavy ass song too. It's at least a sad song that sounds
it's right. The same thing.
That's a heavy fucking song.
And then again, it was also dropped to me because it was dropped in an Axl Rotten interview. Like, what the fuck are you doing listening to Goo Goo Dolls? What?
It kind of fits though.
Yeah, it's true.
Fits. Jay, how is your number 2 song going to fit into this overall episode?
Badly.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear.
Intentionally so. I did this. You're gonna hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Why did I do this? Okay. So the cute, overly saccharine pre-teen delivery of Bop belies the lyrical conversation about the fleeting nature of relationships or life itself. The depth of understanding of how life is all too short. People don't stick around, and in an unpredetermined amount of time, it can all be gone. And in that same amount of time, it cannot be there. Listen, they're kids doing the songwriting. You get what you get with the word choices.
It's no jump, but I mean, it's not bad.
But the thing is, and I think to be fair to everybody, you would have had to you'd have been a huge fan and done your research to find out exactly what that song is about. Because once you get past Bop, all you could make out of the lyrics is
that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Very
man.
on the nose too. Well done.
Speaking of pancake mouth, I'm just saying. The meaning may have been smacked us right in the face, but we were never going to get it.
Oh, no, you're never going to get it.
Not this time.
Not this time.
Can't, sorry. No, so but the actual lyrics to the song are: you have so many relationships in this life, only one or two will last. You go through all the pain and strife, you turn your back and they're gone so fast.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I heard it. I was giving you credit. And then it goes on to say, bop, doopy doppa doo bop. We all know what that means.
To be fair, though, that's even the chorus is deeper than most of the shit written in 1997. So,
I mean,
the bar is super low.
I can't argue with that. You have a very good point. Yeah, seriously.
Oh gosh, the hits keep coming of songs that I did not expect to hear mentioned.
What about some songs that would have just missed being mentioned by you?
I had a few, and literally just a few, just 3 of them all together, and multiple reasons why I didn't have those in the top 5. Starting with "Take Me Out" by Franz Ferdinand. I read a very compelling article about how this song was not about, a potential date or courtship, but was actually about the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, aka the genesis of World War One. I don't know if it's true or not. I'd like to think it is, because that would be a really cool kind of juxtaposition, but I couldn't corroborate it, so couldn't put it on the list. But if so, Franz Ferdinand, then well played. Well played. The second one, I Don't Live Here Anymore by the War on Drugs, featuring Lucius. I actually found that, to pull back the covers a bit, we do research here on the Fairly KickAss podcast. I looked at some lists of what other publications were thinking in the same vein, the happy songs that sound sad. This showed up on a couple of lists. I listened to it a few times, thought that it could fit, and thought that it did fit. But it wasn't a song that I was intimately familiar with, so I didn't feel very good putting it on the top 5, and I had a few better choices anyway. So, and finally, Say Amen, Saturday Night by Panic at the Disco. Not on the list because the song itself, not sad whatsoever. And truthfully, the music video isn't necessarily sad unless you think the wanton violence and death and murder of like 12.5 people is sad, which, I kind of do. It's essentially Kill Bill parts 1 and 2 wrapped into like 3.5 minutes of music video mayhem.
Yeah.
That was my honorable mentions. Dan, what about you?
I have a few more I can add to that. Again, everything crosses that doesn't cross over. Remember when Maroon 5 was a band that did band things? Like Sunday Morning. They still wrote about breakups, and this jazzy, jangly tune was an early example of what they were capable of. And it definitely wasn't, Animals. Surprised we haven't hit Third Eye Blind and Semi-Charmed Life yet, because it is totally the happiest song about crystal meth addiction ever written.
It'll lift you up until you break.
Then there's also the Geno Smith anthem, Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd. Because sure, never not going to be funny. Never not going to be funny. Hey, I drafted him in 2 leagues already, okay? We're past this. It's the old trope of love is drugs, but it's just so damn danceable at the same time, or punchable, if you will. A classic in Bruce Springsteen and Born in the USA, because this song don't mean what you think it means, Jethro. And then, hey, also The Way from Fastball, because we learned the truly sad origins of this song when we did a deep dive into Fastball's discography, which you should go listen to after you finish this show. Just scroll down in your Spotify app, the scroll, the button. It's so smooth like the butter on the muffin, and I will continue to steal other people's jokes.
Is that a Homestar Runner reference?
Yes. Yes.
One of the good ones, you know that?
Man, I'm on a lot of decongestions, okay?
One thing I want to mention...
and then one more. This is finally, and then Janet Jackson and Together Again, because dude, it's Bridge Zone from the original Sonic, but it is then also a touching tribute to friends lost in the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous song.
Yeah, crack your jokes now.
It wasn't a joke. It was a compliment. I was just gonna say that my original number 3 was The Way. But I listened to it a few times, and for some reason, it on those subsequent listens, it didn't sound as happy as I originally thought. And now I feel like maybe I went too far in the other direction and should have added it in. So I will at least put it back.
The chorus is definitely happy sounding, but the verses are not so much.
Right. The verses are more relatable to the story of where the song came from than the chorus.
For sure. And if y'all want to know that story, you got to listen to the episode. Like Dan said, you know where to find it.
You should do it.
You should. That's true. You should also listen to Jay's honorable mentions as well.
I only have 2. Well, I have 3, but I'm going to save one of them just in case Dan uses what I'm going to use as my number 1 as his number 1. That was a truly spectacular sentence. Don't try to deconstruct it. My honorable mentions are they brought me to the Batman Forever soundtrack and the song Bad Days by the Flaming Lips, which is a very happy sounding song about dreaming about shooting your boss.
Jesus.
It wasn't dark enough to make my list. It wasn't as dark as, say, Hanson. So we'll add to this list Paramore's song Ain't It Fun, about the devastation of being a human being and an adult. It's just the worst.
Yeah, that's fast.
Just the worst. And I'm going to leave it at that because I have one more, but I'm going to wait because I might swap it out just to see what Dan uses for his number one. I'm gaming the system.
For fuck's sake. It's all gone to hell. All right, listeners. So I'm not going to say the whole spiel I said a few minutes ago because you didn't hear it because I forgot to hit the record button. I will at least repeat the bit where it doesn't sound like any time has passed for y'all due to the magic of production and our indomitable producer, Nikki, making us sound like we didn't miss a beat. In actuality, now 25 minutes have passed due to a confluence of events, including a Windows system update, a Zencaster error, and a podcaster who doesn't know how to hit the fucking record button. So,
and that could have been any one of us.
yeah, it's
Right.
a choose your own adventure to figure out who's who there. But suffice all that to say, I am going to launch into my number one again after we just finished our honorable mentions as far as y'all know. And, I will keep this more brief than I did because I don't want to have to rehash everything from my poor co-hosts who have to listen to this all over again.
I've already forgotten it. It's fine. Do what you got to do.
Then we're absolutely saying the whole thing again. This is my number one. This has been my number one since we first started talking about this list. Whenever it was, I feel like this list has been in flight for a few months now, and we're just getting around to putting it together. The first time in a long time that I've had a case where I immediately knew my number one without having any thought to it. The rest of it was just filing 2 through 5 in honorable mentions. It's a happy-go-lucky, cheerful song that always manages to get the room a tad bit dusty for me. Equal parts my favorite song on this playlist or on this list, and the best juxtaposition on this list of happy sounds and sad topics. It's The Decemberists with Yankee Bayonet. And we're recording this time, so I can tell you what the song is about, and you'll hear it. So, Yankee Bayonet, if you listen to it, it sounds like a fun track. It doesn't sound like anything sinister, anything bad, anything sad. If you listen to the lyrics, you might miss some of the subtlety and the nuance because this isn't necessarily a hit you over the head with sadness sort of song. But as you start to listen, you kind of realize what's going on. A soldier in a war, which I believe is the Civil War, the American Civil War, killed in battle, logistics of the body being shipped back home being a challenge because of, the war happening. Meanwhile, the beloved of the now dead protagonist and the beloved's unborn child waiting on the other side. All of this presented in a totally cool call and response sort of format. Yes, that is a call and response with a living person and a dead person. That's just how Colin Malloy rolls, I guess. It's a beautiful song in a catalog chock full of them, and it's a no-doubter number one choice for me.
And I unfortunately can't go with you because I am just not a Decemberist person, so I don't even have any frame of reference for you.
I know that I like the song. Again, I don't know why. It just never would have occurred to me to throw it on this list at all. I don't know why.
I don't know. It felt appropriately happy enough with an appropriately downer sort of topic. And it's the Decemberists. I love now. This is one thing that me and Dan's sister can actually see eye to eye about because I believe she is also a big Decemberists fan, and she has great taste in music. Not as great taste in hockey teams, but really good taste in music.
Shit taste in hockey teams. What can I say?
Oh, the drizzling shits. Let me tell you. But I can tell y'all something that's not going to be the drizzling shits, and that is the culmination of Dan's top 5 list with his number one.
Well, okay, for the top of the list, I had to find the best example of a song that sounds jubilant at its core, but is rather sad or reflective or depressing. And if they're coming through my way too many ideas for this top spot, I had to go with undoubtedly the most popular on any of our lists. One of the best-selling singles to ever encapsulate that description, At number 1, a place where it resided on the Billboard Hot 100 for 9 weeks in 2003 and 4, eventually sitting at number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100 list of the decade of the aughts. Off their 11 times platinum smash double album, Speaker Box, The Love Below, this is Outkast and Hey Ya. Andre 3000's pop funk masterpiece is cooler than cool. It is ice cold. But it's really about figuring out whether a relationship is worth staying in and whether or not they're staying together for tradition or because they're still really into each other. And that alone could be a pretty devastating thing to have to consider in a relationship. But Andre keeps things light and dancey while dropping this heavy load out of his brain. I think the breakdown is what sticks in everyone's mind, with Gen Z constantly asking us what a fucking Polaroid is or was after hearing it. But it's that romantic indecision and internal jostling that truly makes this a happy song that's, in actuality, really sad. And I would say worthy of standing at the top of my list.
I like that choice. I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too. It's also probably one of my favorite songs on our list so far.
But and again, it's another one of those songs that you don't really, you listen to it and you take it for what it is on the surface, and then you do take a little time and read the lyrics, and like, whoa, ooh, that's rough.
Oof.
That's rough.
Well, and props to you, because I know there was a lot of buildup between our number ones probably overlapping. And I will say this, that was not the song I had in the number 1 slot. It was the honorable mention that I would have swapped it with.
So I'm not as predictable, but close.
Wow.
Close enough, yeah.
So what is it that made that top spot?
Well, the reason I thought of this the reason I thought it might have been yours is because your theme, the theme that you had running through the majority of your top 5, and I'm gonna finish that theme off for you and say that my number 1 tune, It's All Over and I'm Standing Pretty in This Dust That Was a City. In my estimation, this is easily, hands down, the danciest, catchiest song ever written about nuclear holocaust. It probably gets lost on people because the song is most definitely more fun to listen to in its original German. 99 Luftballons by Nena. Say what you want about the song, it's dancey as hell. I'm actually not sure what side of the German dreams she falls on. It's a little bit unclear, but the balloons are supposed to represent the dreams of the Germans that were lost in World War II. And I hesitate, but also on the surface, that seems okay.
Say so.
I mean, the whole thing is the balloons show up on military radar as unidentified objects, and both sides scramble planes and go full alert to counteract those perceived nuclear attacks. And it's a lot. Balloons. She finds a balloon, though. She finds a dream.
And the interesting part of it, but it is, and this is the weird part, is that the English translation is very blunt. Like, there's no question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is definitely what this is about. But the actual, like, if you translate the German straight up, it's actually far more of a poetic cover of in there. There's, you have to get to the eventual meaning instead of having it just being literally hit in the face with it like we needed to be for the English translation.
Yeah. You know, you cut to Zach Braff kicking balloons and dancing with his patients in Scrubs. There's so many, like, it's one of the most danceable songs ever, like paralleling the beats to like Walking on Sunshine even. And this is about nuclear death and the shattered dreams of a people's.
I do wonder, because this was such a popular song, obviously many, many people have heard it. I do wonder how many people have heard the English version of it, because I feel like the German version has been more popular.
It is, but the English version charted too.
Did it? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the interesting part is, I guess it's kind of one of those questions. If you know the song, which did you know first? Did you hear the English version and then discover, oh, there's actually a German version? I'll do that. They made a book out of that? Oh, totally get the book.
No, it was absolutely the reverse for me. It was the German version for the longest time before hearing the English counterpart.
Ditto.
Okay, then I guess I'm in the minority there. Oh, all right.
And I'm curious. Yeah, I wonder if other people did the same thing from English to German.
Me too. I think they
If you
should let
did.
us know if that's how they heard the song, in which order they did it.
Great minds, motherfucker.
They can let us know if they feel like emailing us at fairlykickass@gmail.com. They can look us up in any of the numerous social medias at Fairly Kickass. We have all the what do we have, Zach? Help me out. I don't know how to do this.
We've got you've covered the email. Did you cover the Instagram?
I didn't cover the Instagram.
It's fairly new. The at Fairly Kickass on Instagram. We have the website fairlykickass.com on your World Wide Web dial. And then we have this here podcast. I don't think we missed. Oh, I guess we technically missed the Facebook, but again, that's probably going to be shuffled off. So
I wouldn't say we were missing it, Zach.
Well, that's why we're getting rid of it. It's not great. I mean, the platform itself is not great, so we don't want to use it. So there, it's our choice. But fairlykickass.com for all the behind the scenes fun stuff. And right here on Spotify, the only source for the Fairly Kickass podcast on your Spotify device of choice.
Woohoo!
And I think we are going to make the choice to shuffle off of this here show. And truth be told, go record another show right afterwards.
You're breaking the fourth wall.
I know the real mind fuck is that this one's going to air before the one we're recording next. So figure that one out, listeners.
Other way around.
Space time, my ass.